Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Extermination, issue number 4 of 5. Okay, I get it. I see what you're doing here. This is cool. There is a major death in here. No spoilers, unless you notice something. Yes, I have the variant cover. Anyway, so let's just talk about who did this book. Extermination, part 4 of 5. Writer is Ed Brisson. Layout, so this was done in advance by Pepe Larraz. Apparently it was just delayed. Pencils, Ario Anindito, the guy who Marvel has criminally not given an exclusive contract to. Marvel, better catch up because DC could be looking this way. They could be looking at Ario's way. Inks, Dexter Vines. Colorist, Eric Arcianega. Letters, VC's Joe Sabino. And cover arts by Mark Brooks. Variant cover art, like the one I think the one that I have now is Mike Hawthorne and Frank D'Armata, but there's also another one by John Cassaday and Laura Martin. Okay, and of course, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby have created these amazing characters called the X-Men. So, we have Ahab, the freaking future pirate. Yeah, I don't really like this guy because he's kind of boring, but the art in this makes it amazing. And the writing too, man. Like, obviously, because the artists aren't just drawing whatever they want to draw. Dude, Brisson's like, here, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take the Pequod, that's the ship that Ahab is drawing, because, sticking with the Moby Dick theme. I want you to take this ship, and I want you to bring it, and I want you to set them up, man, right outside of Cerebro, all right? Right outside of Atlantis. And I want you to have it parked there because it's going to look awesome. And the artist said, challenge accepted. And they did it. And this should be a full page. Like, this is criminal. I'm looking at this page and it's only like half a page, this panel. Nah, that should be a whole page. That is beautiful, man. Damn. That's just gorgeous. Like, I want to go there now. Like, this thing just looks like a damn Leviathan. Look at them talk about, I'm going to eat you. And I'm scared that I'm going to be an appetizer. So, anyway, more people are kidnapped, including, I'm going to give this away, Honey Badger. Damn it, they did it. They did it. If you guys always had a problem with, because I know a lot of people have said this, Cannonball left before he became a real X-Force guy. You know what I'm saying? He's been X-Force, on and off, here and there, whatever, but he's not. I've heard this before. Maybe you don't agree, but whatever. A lot of people have said he's not a real X-Force guy. Well, in this issue, he's an X-Force guy. What he says is awesome. What he does is awesome. And it feels like something like, I'm former Army and, infantry. So, you gotta eat some dirt. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go out there and you're not just, pencil pushing, no disrespect. Everybody, whether you're infantry or your support, the fact of the matter is you're all pushing forward with the exact same goals, the exact same end goals in mind. It's just, when you are infantry, you understand an entirely different aspect of what it means to actually be out there. So that's kind of like the gist. That's the feeling that I get when I'm seeing Cannonball with Shatterstar in this. I think that's going to, I think that what happened in this with him, like carrying him and what he says to the other X-Men and recognizing that he is a little bit different. Like it's like a ranger talking to somebody else in the army. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're all army, but they're ranger armies. And I get it. I've trained with more than enough. I've taught hand-to-hand and knife fighting to rangers before. And I get it. I get it. You could still be taken in as a brother, a brother in arms, but that's something different. And I don't know if that's what Ed Brisson was going for with this, but me, that hit me, pretty interestingly. Yeah, that was good. I don't know. I'm probably dwelling on it too much for a lot of you guys. It's only like 2 lousy panels, but man, it was really good. I liked that. That brought in good emotions. I actually want to really see a Cannonball story now. You know what I'm saying? If he's written like this, I would like to see more Cannonball. This was really good. We take care of our own. Damn, that was solid. Domino is great in this. I am so in love with Domino. like Brisson writes her just enough like like the domino of yore, while still giving enough credence to the Gail Simone domino. You know what I'm saying? And that's just great. I love that. Young Jean Grey is just... Both versions of Jean Grey in this show their power, okay? And it's in interesting ways. Jean Grey shows how actually powerful she is, how off the charts powerful she is. And older Jean Grey goes right into her mind, and she does the subtle version of just how ridiculously off the charts powerful she is. So I love that. I love that. And also, something that doesn't happen very often. A lot of people try, and I think most people fail, with all due respects. Ed Brisson is able to do a really good turn, okay? A face turn, they say in the WWE, excuse me. That young Cable, everybody's just like, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, I'm never going to love him, never going to love him. No, read this and pay attention to it, and I think that you'll understand. Yeah, he's awesome. Young Cable is awesome, man. I'm rooting like hell for Young Cable, dude. Wow. So we get to find out a lot more of what happens in this comic book, and it's great, and we understand the stakes, and then all of a sudden, it's all just ripped away from us, and now all of a sudden we understand why the extermination is here, but now we understand why the next event has to happen. Because, oh man, holy crap. Oh, and extermination is going to be so here's the next issue. Now, got a couple Cyclops fans out there, and I can't be hating. I can't be hating because I myself, I'm a Cyclops fan. But with the event, the main event that everybody's going to be focused on in this comic book, and what this next cover is showing me, it could mean anything. Because look, Ed Brisson is a masterful enough writer that I'm going to just say this. He will F with your heartstrings till his heart is content. He will laugh the whole way, all right? He's not an evil guy, but I could see him doing the mustachio laugh, you know what I'm saying? while your comic book hearts, all of our comic book hearts, are tied to the railroad tracks as the freaking train is coming. And it says Brisson Inc. right on the front. Like, this dude, he is sick. And you gotta love him to death, man. This cat. So, everybody's been thinking that Cyclops Adult is going to return. Maybe, and he would be the one, in my opinion, he should be the one to bring him back. Ed Brisson should be the one to bring him back. Will he? I kept on waiting for it this whole issue, and a lot of people were waiting for it even more than me, which is surprising. How do you people like Cyclops more than me? Anyway, the point is, this was solid. This was such a solid comic book, man. Wow. The art in this, just absolutely fantastic. I'm going to make an observation that I hope that nobody is insulted by. Let me actually go and find the name again. Dexter Vines. I see what you're doing, and it's great. It's great. I love it. I love it. The inks in this are really, really good. Okay? Like, you're looking at some of the... Let me find you just a page to show you. Because, you know, like, dude, the layouts that we were talking about. Look at this scene. Look at this scene. Look at the layouts. Look at the panel design on this. This is just gorgeous, you know what I'm saying? But now let's look a little bit closer, and let's look at some of the inks on this. Ho, 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 ho. How are you doing? Right? Great. And they tell the artist, they tell the colorist exactly what they're going to have to color. They're telling exactly everything. And it's great, man. Oh, this is so good. But and it's not a lot. It's a little bit, but there's a couple of little facial expressions in here that I know are not exactly what we were meant to see necessarily. I'm trying to find them, can't find them offhand. Damn it, I'm really bothered by this. But anyway, okay, you know what? I think this is probably my best example of it. So let's look at this. Focus on this. This is Ario Anindito. You guys have probably heard me, alumni have heard me say multiple times, I can't think of too many people who have better facial expressions than Ario Anindito. This guy, like when he's going to draw a face, he will draw expressions like you would not believe. Okay? And he usually does his own inks. Just, who am I to give suggestions to anybody, right? But to Marvel, if an artist, if a penciler is capable of doing his own inks, please let the artist do his own inks. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the artist be the artist. There's no disrespect to Dexter Vines because his inks are incredible on this, but you know, the best comics, in my opinion, that have ever been written were by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. All right? If you checked out my interview that I did with Jim Starlin, he put his finger right on the pulse of why that is. Jack does amazing stories and art, and Stan Lee makes the characters likable. Those two abilities to work together, even though apparently they didn't like each other that much, whatever, there was some blame that wasn't necessary, and there was pride and ego and whatever, but, you know, it's like mom and dad fighting, you know what I'm saying? But in the end, those two work together better than pretty much anybody out there. Anybody. Fight me. All right? It's one thing to create a Superman. It's one thing to create a Batman. It's one thing to create a Wonder Woman. But imagine if you created all three of those and so many more. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these two did. Better than anybody else. Bring it. So, likewise, a lot of people can, of course, work together. But to get that amazing dynamic, it's a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? And an inker and a penciler have to have that perfect symmetry. And unfortunately, I just don't feel like it works here. So I don't feel like we got the facial expressions that we were really looking for here. Like, case in point, that image, I like just put it down. I shouldn't have. But that image of Jean Grey, she's supposed to look, you know, scared and surprised. And this just doesn't look like that. It just doesn't look like that. And this is no disrespect. Again, there's absolutely no disrespect to the inker. Dude's an awesome inker. But, yeah, I just don't feel like there's a symmetry there. Again, what do you call it? Ario knows how to ink by himself. That's my 2 cents. All that being the case, this is a really good comic book. Whatever happens in the next issue, knowing that it's going to lead to an even bigger event, I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared for what the future of the X-Men is. Like, they are not in a good place right now at all. So hopefully they can get their heads into the game. And I'll tell you what, as long as they've got the 2 Jean Greys in charge, I think that they will. I think that they will, because we almost fell into those tropes. I don't have time to explain anything, but I have time to get into a firefight and hope that, you know, we're all going to be... And that's what they're both saying on both sides. And Jean Grey on both sides are like, okay, you idiots are going to stop, okay? Talk. If you don't have time, then you better talk fast, because it's a lot easier than freaking shooting at each other, all right? Thank you. Thank you for not making us fall into another one of those things. I'm so tired of the X-Men, like all of the comic book characters, but especially the X-Men. I don't have time to explain. Oh my God, you don't all have to be Wolverine. You don't all have to be Wolverine. All right, guys, that's enough out of me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.